Hey everyone, and welcome back to NavalTech. As a naval architect, I've spent my career studying the design, construction, and operation of ships. But today, we're doing something really special. We're stepping back in time. Pier 45 in San Francisco, and this is the SS Jeremiah O'Brien. She's not a static museum piece. She's a living, breathing, operational piece of history. And I just spent the day exploring every corner of her, from the bridge to the bottom of the engine room. And let me tell you, it is an incredible experience. This ship is one of the last of her kind, and her story is the story of how an entire nation mobilized to win a war. So today, we're going to do a full technical deep dive. We'll cover her history, the groundbreaking engineering that made her possible, and we'll even look at her surprising second life as a Hollywood movie star. To understand the O'Brien, you first have to understand the Liberty ship. The year is 1941. The world is at war, and Allied shipping in the Atlantic is being decimated by German U-boats. The UK desperately needs supplies, but ships are being sunk faster than they can be built. The United States, realizing it would soon be drawn into the conflict, needed a solution. It wasn't about building one perfect, advanced ship. It was about building thousands of good enough ships as fast as humanly possible. The answer was the Liberty ship. Based on a British tramp, steamer design, American shipyards, led by industrialist Henry J. Kaiser, turned shipbuilding into a mass production miracle. And when I say mass production, I mean it. They reduced using rivets, which were time-consuming, and instead perfected the art of welding prefabricated sections. Workers, many of whom were women, the Rosie the Riveters of the shipbuilding world, would build huge chunks of the ship, the bow, the stern, the deck houses, in different parts of the yard, and then a massive crane would lift them into place on the slipway to be welded together. How fast were they? The average build time was about 42 days. The record holder, the SS Robert E. Peary, was built in an unbelievable 4 days and 15 hours. The Jeremiah O'Brien herself was built in 56 days in South Portland, Maine, and launched in June 1943. She's one of 2,710 Liberty ships built. And today, she is one of only 2 that are still fully operational in the United States, and the only one that remains in her original, unaltered World War II condition. Her service history is incredible. She made 7 voyages during the war, including 11 crossings of the English Channel during the D-Day invasion, ferrying troops and supplies back and forth to the Normandy beaches. Think about that. This ship right here was at Omaha Beach. She is the sole survivor of the 6,000-ship D-Day Armada. All right, so let's get into the naval architecture. What is a Liberty ship? From a design perspective, she's all about function. She's 441 feet long with a 57-foot beam. As you can see, she has what we call a full-form hull. Her block coefficient, that's the ratio of her underwater volume to a bounding box, is very high. She's not sleek, she's like a brick, but she's a brick designed to carry over 10,000 tons of cargo, from tanks and planes to ammunition and grain. She has 5 massive cargo holds, 3 forward and 2 aft, served by these simple, robust cargo booms and steam-powered winches. This was stick handling at its finest. But the real heart of this ship, the part that gives me goosebumps, is down here. This is the engine. This is a triple expansion, reciprocating steam engine. It is a 2,500 horsepower beast, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is 19th century technology perfected for 20th century reliability. Here's how it works. 2 massive oil-fired Babcock and Wilcox water tube boilers generate high-pressure steam. That steam is fed into the first, smallest cylinder, the high-pressure cylinder, pushing a piston down. That steam then expands into the medium-sized intermediate pressure cylinder, pushing its piston down. Finally, it expands one last time into the enormous low-pressure cylinder, giving its final push before being condensed back into water and sent back to the boilers. All three pistons are connected to this one massive crankshaft, which turns a propeller shaft. We're talking about a massive four-bladed propeller turning at about 76 revolutions per minute, pushing this 14,000-ton ship through the water at a steady 11 knots. It's not fast, but it was reliable, and it was simple enough to be run by crews who were trained in a matter of weeks. Walking through here, you can smell it. The hot oil, the steam, it's a sensory overload. And the best part? The volunteers here fire this up regularly. Now, after the war, the O'Brien, like most of her sisters, was mothballed and laid up in reserve fleet in Sassoon Bay, just north of here. She sat there for 33 years, rusting away. But in 1979, a group of dedicated volunteers saved her from the scrapyard. And this is where her second life begins. And I promise you, you have seen this ship before. Remember the engine room in James Cameron's Titanic? All those iconic shots of the engineers, the massive pistons moving. More power, Mr. Murdoch. That was filmed right here. This engine stood in for the Titanic's engines. They are technologically identical, triple expansion steam engines. The Titanics were just much larger. So, this ship, this humble cargo ship, is a massive movie star. But her greatest role wasn't in a movie. It was in 1994. For the 50th anniversary of D-Day, a crew of volunteer veterans, many in their 70s and 80s, decided to do the impossible. They sailed the Jeremiah O'Brien under her own power from San Francisco to the Panama Canal, across the Atlantic, and back to the beaches of Normandy. She was the only ship from the original D-Day Armada to make that return voyage. It's one of the most incredible maritime preservation stories of all time. Today, she continues to sail. She takes regular cruises around San Francisco Bay, her engines thumping, her whistle echoing off the Golden Gate Bridge. She is a living memorial, maintained and operated entirely by volunteers, to the merchant mariners and shipbuilders who made the Allied victory possible. Visiting the Jeremiah O'Brien isn't just touring a ship. It's a profound experience. As an engineer, I'm in awe of the sheer industrial might that built her. But as a historian, I'm humbled by the courage of the crews who sailed her into danger time and time again. This is living history. It's loud, it's dirty, it smells of oil and steam, and it is absolutely fantastic. If you're ever in San Francisco, you have to come Pier 45 and see her. A huge thank you to the volunteer crew for keeping this incredible piece of history alive for all of us. So, what's your favorite historic ship? And what engineering marvels would you like to see me cover next on NavalTech? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next voyage. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.